Typically, I've been keeping this channel all about Africa and my experiences living here as an African American. I talk about it all the time. I have guests coming from all around the world doing the Repat podcast, and we're strictly talking about our experiences here. But this year is a little bit different because it's a political election. And now I'm talking about something else that is very dear to me, the African American community. Now, what I have noticed in every election cycle in which I've been voting, and that's been since 2008 when Obama was coming into office, there is a certain level of voting entitlement towards telling black men what to do, who to vote for, without asking for anything. And this started in 2008 when I was 27, and my mother told me to go to the polls and vote for Barack Obama. In fact, she just told me to go down the line. Vote for this person, vote for this person, and vote for this person, and vote for this person. So that's what I went and did. I went and voted for all of those people. But I never asked her the question, why? Why am I voting for this particular person? And is there a policy that we agree with that would help our community here in Del Paso Heights, which is a neighborhood of Sacramento, California? Well, we voted. He won. People celebrated. You had folks going to the club that day. You had Jesse Jackson crying. And now it's been 16 years since that time, and Black America is even worse than this time. So now the climate is a lot different. Black male voters of today are different than the time when I was coming in. The advent of social media is teaching black men to think independently and to think for themselves. And still, while most black men are voting Democratic, you do have some black men out there looking to go and do something else. And we saw that in the Stacey Abrams election in Georgia.
Are black men large in number enough to decide this race for Stacey Abrams? Or is this just a headline that's, more yellow journalism and sensationalism than truth?
Yeah, good morning, Tiffany. Great to be here with you. Obviously, black males, black men voters make up enough of a block where we can be a part of what the difference is. And we got to keep in mind, we're talking about a state where in the presidential election in 20, the difference was famously those 11,700 votes that Trump was trying to find someplace. So in a situation like that, yeah, black men as a voting bloc can be a big part of the equation. And, whether or not they come out, we come out, black men in Georgia come out and support Stacey at the same rate that black women do is a legitimate question. Now certainly black men aren't going to bear the brunt of what happens in this election on their own, no more than black women should.
Even Donald Trump acknowledges he's getting a lot more black male voters, but not so many black women.
Before Harris became the nominee, was appealing to black voters. That was something you were really going after. In polls, we really see Harris gaining ground with that group. And I'm wondering how you are going to go after black voters now that she's the nominee and really winning them over.
Well, it changes around a little bit. I'm getting other voters. Perhaps, I was doing very well with black voters, and I still am. I seem to be doing very well with black males. This is according to polls, as you know. It's possible that I won't do as well with black women, but I do seem to be doing very well with other segments, extremely well with Hispanic. Jewish voters way up. White males way up. White males have gone through the roof.
So then you start hearing a lot of the criticism towards black men. And instead of asking black men what they're looking for as far as a candidate or what they expect from a party to garner their vote or earn their vote, you're hearing shaming tactics like this.
Nobody pisses me off more than black people, specifically black men, because you niggas do not have a problem with anybody being mixed until it's the president. You laying right next to that mixed. You're literally laying next to the mixed, the white mother that smoke, and you worried about. First of all, she ain't even mixed with white. She's mixed with Indian. Your you lay next to every single night has a white mama. And you love her. You would go to war for her. But you can't have a mixed president. Now all of a sudden it's all skin folk ain't kinfolk. The skin folk right next to you lay next to is not kinfolk. What do you, what? I hate y'all. I really hate y'all, because I ain't never seen this many black men complaining about whether somebody's fully black. That's not a black man thing to complain about. If we're being completely honest, that's a black woman thing. Come on. Be for real. You do not care. Y'all just want to vote for Trump. And that's okay. Just say, I want to vote for Trump. Say it with your chest, boo. But don't blame it on her being black or mixed or whatever. Don't. Because now I'm pissed off.
And not only from women, our fellow black men are saying things like this.
Message to all black men who left the Democratic Party for the MAGA Party. I'm going to offer you this one-time opportunity to come back. You can come back. You have until Sunday, 12 high noon. We'll take you back. We'll take you back. There's no more blue no matter who. It's Kamala, bang, bang. Kamala, bang, bang. Coach.
Which is interesting because this same guy, Uncle Luke, said just 2 years ago, the Democratic Party doesn't give anything to African Americans for their vote. But 2024, he's changing it up. But the most disheartening clip that I have seen this election cycle is this one.
Is Kamala going to make you a little more likely or less likely to vote Democrat?
Well, hold on, wait, first, Ray, hold on, Ray. Is Kamala black, yes or no?
I'm going to let her speak on that. But to me, no.
Oh, is Kamala black, yes or no?
I share that same view.
Wow, is Kamala black, yes or no?
I heard she was. I heard she's half black and half Asian.
When I played that audio on my SiriusXM radio program on Thursday, many callers who self-identified as African American were quick to tell me that those men were the exception, not the rule. Some described them as low information voters, no different than you'd find among whites.
Here you have liberal whites and black women referring to black men as uninformed or misinformed voters. In other words, black men are silly, they don't know what they're talking about, and they can't make any decisions for themselves. Now, if somebody would have reversed that and that be black women, that's called being misogynistic. In whatever platform you're on, it will be reported and it will be taken down. Black women can do anything, right, in the black community. They have the skills, they have the talent, they can think for themselves, and they're independent. Nobody would take that away from them. But black men are still dependent. And that is the problem. Black men are not allowed to think for themselves. Oh, let me tell you what I find out now. That so many black men are disinterested in the black community altogether at an all-time high. If you really think about it, I have never seen so many black men turned off by black America as I see it today in 2024. Some of that can be self-induced. Of course, black men can take the blame for some of that. A lot of that has been this constant abuse from the media, in particular, the black media, to debase black men and make them do something that isn't worth their time. In 60 years of Democratic rule, we have seen the black men become belittled, put out of the home, become prisoners in jail cells, and to lose ownership in his community only to be heckled and laughed at by foreigners. Foreigners like Arab-owned liquor stores. Foreigners like Korean weave shops and beauty shops. And also become second and to be a consistent beta male to black women in this community. This is what the Democratic Party wants. They have never, ever considered what black men are interested in. And that's okay. We've sat back and saw what Goldman Sachs, which is extremely liberal, which is willing to do for black women, which is giving them $10 billion to start businesses and to pretty much own the black community while black men sit out there and die. We understand it. It's okay. But black men should have the ability to vote for who they want to, because after all, they are on their own. And that's something that we got to understand. We're not saying that all black women or all black people or all white people are against black men. We would never say that here. But we will say that many black men have no help and they have no assistance, and they're not going to get it from the Democratic Party. That is for sure. Because in 1992, when Bill Clinton won the presidency as a young governor from Arkansas, and at that time he was the youngest president ever in presidential history, what did the black community ask for? Like 1, work programs. 2, opportunities. And 3, training programs. Those are called resources. By the time Bill Clinton left his second term in 2000, what did black people get? The crime bill and more prisons and jails. Bill Clinton built more prisons and jails to put black men in between 1992 to 2000, and he actually had to apologize for that. And now you're talking down on black men because they have a different political decision. Black men are looking out for themselves. And this is why our community looks like this, because we have really castigated our men on the behalf of our women. Now, I get it. Women have been behind in American society, but that wasn't black men putting black women behind. Black men didn't have the power to put black women behind in society. You need to incentivize your men to develop, and whatever political party that will allow black men to stop being boys and that have no problem with them being men, like they were in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s, owning their community, taking care of their kids, working with other black men and working with black women, that is the political party we need to be partnering with. We need to work with that party, because obviously the Democrats just want to talk down to black men and not talk to black men. How about you guys stop talking at black men and understand what black men want? We know that you don't care, but at least you can start to care. Try to compete for somebody's vote instead of believing that you're going to get the vote just because he's a black man and he's from Detroit, or just because he's a black man, he's from Chicago, or he's a black man from Memphis. No, he's a voter. Give him what he needs. If he has a problem with making his child support payments, or if he feels like he's not getting enough opportunities, why don't the Democratic Party come out and try to figure that out, like you have for black women, or like you have for some of the other groups in which we will not discuss today? Black men are not going to continue to be intimidated by political parties that are against them and have consistently been their downfall. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of King Gunna. I'm out.